Welcome to an interactive pop-up card set tutorial. I'm Charee Filimoehala here at the G45 headquarters, and I am excited to teach you 3 fun ways to give cards. So I'm going to teach you 3 different methods to making interactive cards that are great for storing gift cards or photos for your loved ones. And all 3 of these gorgeous cards that I will teach you today have been created for us by the fabulous and wonderful Ginger Ropp of My Sister Scrapper. And so I'll teach you how to create 3 different card styles. You'll see this one has a fun little interactive element that pulls out. And this one stores a gift card or a photo or tickets or some sort of fun prize. And then using those same templates, we'll show you another version of those cards so you can use up the rest of your supplies that you're going to get in your G45 card kit. And if you're not already a subscriber to our G45 Card Club, you can do that by hopping on over to our website, G45papers.com, and then just hit either subscribe and you'll get a monthly card kit in the mail every month, or if you just want this kit, just pick up that volume 7 card kit, and then you will get all the goodies you need to create this. So you'll be getting the exclusive Safari Adventure 8x8 paper set, which you'll get 24 papers in there. You'll be getting the Graphic 45 Rose Bouquet flower set that comes in Triumphant red. You'll be getting our Architecture gloss black washi tape, our Kraft card bases. These are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You get 6 card bases, where's 6 card bases and 6 envelopes. And then you'll also get this project sheet. But of course, if you want to follow along at home and you don't want to wait for this to come in the mail, you can do that with us as well by creating your own card bases and using the papers you've just got in your own stash. So either way, grab your kit, grab your supplies, and let's have a little bit of fun. Before you get started, you always want to check out our project sheet and check out the notes. On this project sheet in particular, the notes are that we're going to be using a lot of our cut aparts from these 2 sheets. So on your project sheet, if you see something that says that, for an example, the icon border strip has 1 asterisk next to it. So if you're going to see up here on your notes, that means it comes from the Amazing Africa paper. If it has 2 asterisks, that's going to mean that it comes from Jungle Expedition. Card number 1 is this super cute little giraffe card that's got the Wild Safari gift card pop-up inside. So for step 1, we are going to be taking our Safari Adventure B side and we'll be cutting this down to be 2 different pieces from the B side that measure to be 5 1/4 by 4 inches. Step 2, we are going to take our Architecture washi tape and we are going to add this to the bottom of one of our panels we just cut out. And it's going to be in between 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch on the bottom of our panel. And I do want it to overlap on both sides. So overhang, and anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch is fine. And then we'll just fold that over onto the reverse side as neatly as we can. Perfect. And then we'll take our second piece. So again, we will be overlapping about 1/2 of an inch and putting this in the center. And fold over our excess. From our Amazing Africa paper, we're going to take this icon border strip and we are going to adhere it in the center of our washi that's towards the bottom. So I've added some liquid adhesive to the center and now I'm going to adhere my icon strip down. And I'm just going to try to get the images that I like showing nicely pieces. And then now that I have it adhered down, I can go ahead and trim off my excess. And then trim off your excess on both sides. adhere this to the center of the inside of our card base. Step 5, we're going to add the elephant border to the center of our other panel we've created. And this is from our Amazing Africa paper as well. And then trim off your excess. And then we are going to adhere on this tiny little green border from Amazing Africa. It reads, "And so the adventure begins." And since this is so small, I would definitely recommend putting some liquid adhesive on the back of your strip and then cutting off your ends. And this goes in between the bottom of your black washi and the bottom of your panel. And then adhere this to the top of your card. Step 7, we are going to be beginning to create this pop-up element. This could be great in so many different pop-up cards. You can add fussy cuts here, and then also in this center little divide, you could add a second layer of giving your card more dimension. How we're going to be using it is to add a gift card in there. So from Serengeti Outfitters, we're going to be cutting out 2 pieces that are going to be 4 1/4 by 3 1/2. And so we have our stripes that are going to be horizontal. And then we're going to put our 2 pieces in our scoreboard, and it's going to be on the 3 1/2 inch side. And then we are going to score at a 1/2 inch, 1 1/2, 2, and 3. And we'll do that with both of our cut pieces. Step 8, we are going to take our pieces we've just scored and we're going to crease on all those score lines to create our 2 little rectangle boxes. So then we'll just add some adhesive onto this 1/2 inch panel and adhere down our 1/2 inch tabs onto one another. And then you can fold this down to make sure you're getting a really good connection and bond with those. And then pop your tube back up, like so. For step 9, now that we have our rectangles created, I'm going to use some liquid adhesive and just putting that on the short sides of one of my tubes. I'm going to now take both of my tubes. I'm taking the sides that have the bottoms just so they're nice and evenly weighted, and I'm going to adhere my other set of tubes, or my other set of tube, on top of the other. So I've got my 2 rectangles side by side, only adhered on the ends. That way I still have space to add a photo or a gift card. Step 10, we are going to be taking some heavy duty dry adhesive like score tape, and we are going to be adding those to 2 of the panels. So on 2, I'm going to be calling this the bottom and the back side, leaving the top and the front unadhered. So this will be what you see when you open the card, is this front here and the top. So now taking my prepared card base, I'm going to be taking the bottom score tape off of my created element, my pop-up element. So I'm going to make sure that I took off the bottom one so it still has the slit in the top. And then I'm just going to kind of fold so I can manage this a little more easily. So I have it folded where the adhesive edge, and I'm going to put this just flush with the crease in my card base and then right in the center. And then once I found that spot, I can go ahead and burnish that down. And now I can take my backing off my back panel, and then I can just go ahead and close my card. So when I open it up, I have a nice pop-up element created and ready to go. So now that it's all ready to go, you can see I've got my gift card, and it's going to fit nicely in our little pop-up element. And next, from Amazing Africa, I've taken this Wild Safari sentiment, and that's going to go on our front little box panel. Step 11, we're on to the fun decorating part. And you can see in our sample, we have used our Graphic 45 Rose Bouquet flowers, and it adds that great dimension. However, if you want to put this in the mail, like I know a lot of our G45 Club members do, you can just omit those roses. So I'll create my sample without the roses. I will still be using this nice little leaf set because that will still fit in our envelope. So now we're just taking our giraffe cut apart. This comes from the Jungle Expedition. And I'm using some foam adhesive on here. Again, this might make it a little harder to put in the mail. So if you want to make this flatter, you can go ahead and just adhere it straight down. But I was getting ahead of myself. So we're just going to put that to the side for right now. First thing we want to do is adhere our lion and some of these gorgeous little leaves. So I am just going to trim off these bottom two, or just trimming these two apart will be even better. So now I can just manipulate these to be how I want them to be. So I'm going to be adhering a cute little bunch up here. So my lion stamp's going to be on an angle, and then these little leaves are going to just be right behind it, like so. Now I can take my popped up giraffe, and this is going to also be on a bit of an angle, but however you can do it however you want. If you want it to be straightforward, have it be straight, but I'm going to have mine angling up to that top right corner, and then I'll add my little parrot dangling off that top corner. So at this point I can be done and it looks beautiful, or I could add a few more little leaves to the bottom, which might bring those leaves in all together. So I'm just going to trim off two more of those leaves and then have them coming out of the bottom of my little giraffe postcard. So tuck that in and under. So there you have it. We have a more male-friendly version of this card, and it is still super cute. It still gets to use some of those rose bouquets. And then you can use those flowers on another more dimensional project like a mini album or a home decor project. Our card 2 is this fun little sliding card. So to get started, we are going to take our B-side of Call of the Wild and cut this to be 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And then we're going to take that washi tape and adhere this about 1/8 of an inch from the right-hand side, overlapping those edges and then tucking them onto the backhand. And then adhere this onto the front panel of your card. Step 3, cut a piece of Lush Landscape to be 6 by 2 1/4. And now we're going to score at a 1/2 inch on both ends, so a 1/2 inch, and we've laid it down on the 6 inch side. So we've scored it at a 1/2 inch, and then we'll score it again at 5 1/2. So now that we've scored on the 1/2 inch side, we can go ahead and crease those fold lines. And then we're going to angle our little tabs just a little bit. That way when we adhere this down and we're popping our element in and out, everything is going to just flow a little bit more easily. You won't see any edges. So now that we've angled our ends, we can add some adhesive. So we're going to add adhesive to both tabs. And then a thin line of adhesive on that bottom ridge. And then this is going to adhere inside of our card towards the bottom. So I want my tabs to fold in, and I want my bead of it, or my line of adhesive, to be on the bottom, and I want my sides and my bottom to be equal. So what's showing is in the Kraft, it looks like it's about 1/4 of an inch. So I want it to be 1/4 of an inch from left, right, and bottom. And burnish it down. Step 4, with our Call of the Wild, we are going to be cutting this to be 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And then put it in the scoreboard on the 3 1/2 inch side, and then score at 1/2 of an inch. And then score on that 1/2 inch line, and then add some heavy duty adhesive. Remove that adhesive strip and then tuck this into your floral pocket. So now that I'm holding this down, I am going to find my score line in the center, and I want my score and my adhesive to be on the top panel, not the bottom panel. So once you find the right placement where you want this to go on both sides, you can go ahead and burnish that down. So you can see now that I have it adhered down a little bit better, that I've adhered my 1/2 inch panel to the top side of my card base, just above that score line, and then my green leaves are tucked in to my pocket. So when I close it, it closes perfectly flat, and when I open it up, it pops open, adding some extra dimension and a surprise and delight element. So at this point, you can leave your inside up here blank. It would also be a great place to add a gift card or a photo or some kind of fun surprise element, or you can decorate how we are going to decorate. If you would like to decorate how we've cut out this tag from our amazing Africa paper, as well as this tag trio, and left that tag trio all nicely intact with each other. So that's just one solid piece, and then added that fussy cut tag to add just a little bit of embellishment on the inside. Step 7, we are going to take exotic patterns and cut this to be 4 1/4 by 3 1/2. And then we are going to add this to our front panel. In the original sample and in the instructions, it says to use foam adhesive, but I want to try creating some more envelope friendly mail style cards. So I'm just going to adhere it down just with some liquid adhesive. And then I will take our tiger and adhere that down. And then taking the Let's Go on an Adventure label from our amazing Africa paper, I'm going to adhere this just heavy towards the bottom left. So you can see this card is also stunning and gorgeous without the foam and the flowers, and then still has our fun pop-up elements. But if you do want to add the extra dimension and add the flowers, you can go ahead and follow this example where we've added some foam adhesive to the back of this exotic patterns and Let's Go on an Adventure, and then glued our Rose Bouquet, 2 buds and a leaf here. So I'd love to hear from you in our comment section, like, which do you prefer? Do you like the dimensional card with the roses and the foam adhesive, or do you like to keep it a little more simple so you can just pop it in the mail? Card number 3 is this fun little gift card holder. So to get started, we are going to be taking, for step 1, our birds of a feather paper, and we'll be cutting 2 of these down to be 4 inches by 5 1/4. And for both of these cards, we're going to be taking our black washi and adhering this about 1/8 of an inch from the bottom, overlapping the excess on both sides. And then adhere 1 to the front panel and 1 to the inside panel. Step 3, we're taking exotic patterns and we are going to cut this to be 3 1/4 by 3 1/2. And then adhere it inside of our card, equal distance from top, bottom, and left and right. Step 4, we're going to be creating our little gift card belly band. So if you don't want to be adding a gift card to this project or a fun little insert, then you can go ahead and omit this step. But if you do want to do that, we're going to go ahead and take Serengeti Outfitters, and we're going to cut this piece to be 5/8 by 5 inches. And then just taking a gift card, you're going to center that and then wrap the excess around your gift card. That way you get a nice snug fit, and then add your adhesive on the back and side. And then we're going to add this to the center of our animal print. From Jungle Expeditions, we're going to cut out this parrot cut apart. Add adhesive onto your little belly band, and then adhere this to the center. Making sure you don't adhere your gift card to your card. And then taking a cute little parrot stamp, we are just going to add that to the bottom right on an angle. And then we're going to adhere our Safari Adventure Girl on the top left-hand side. Of course, if you want to make this dimensional, add your foam adhesive at this point. And then we're going to take this cute little red decorative border with all the florals, and we're going to add this just to our black washi panel. So I will trim to fit. And now I've added a few more little cut aparts to add some more fun elements on there. And then I'm going to take the rest of those leaves that we used and adhere those down in this bottom corner. So there you have it, our envelope friendly Safari Adventure card. So we've got the leaves on there and everything has just been adhered flat. But of course, if you want to go with a more dimensional look, if you're adding this just to something you're going to be delivering in person or to a package, by all means, add those gorgeous flowers on there and use some fun pop-up adhesive to add that nice dimension of the shade. Another fun way you can use that same template that we've just used is by taking those leftover scraps that you have in your card kit and creating another card. So you've got that belly band behind this jungle safari image. Got a little zebra here. We've got nice black and white papers on the inside. And then added some great stripes and more fussy cuts and roses. And then taking our slide template, we've created another one, Welcome to the Jungle card. You can see just using leftover papers, we've added some fun elements here. Gotta love this zebra and that elephant, some gorgeous rose bouquets. And then just adding those tags, just gives it a real fun element where you could write your little notes on here as well. And then with our card number 1, you can see just using some other papers, we're using the same template. We've got our rose bouquet in the bottom corner. Everything's tilted to the same direction, but it really packs a punch and shows you how you can just use that same design and recreate this over and over again with other papers. We hope you've enjoyed creating this card set with us this month. Be sure to share your cards with us on Instagram and on Facebook using that Graphic45 hashtag. And of course, if you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, you're going to want to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and then hit that notification bell so you know every time we upload a new tutorial. So go ahead and do that now. And of course, as always, we thank you so much for joining us for this tutorial. We thank all of the Club G45 subscribers and G45 Card Club subscribers out there who keep this program going every month. We're honored to get to work with you. And as always, happy paper crafting.